Well, we get 6 on tap today from the stable on Friday. You know, anytime you drive 5 hours, make a break in one of the biggest races of the year, wash your face off, knowing that your eyes are going to burn into your head the next morning, drive 5 hours back, and pull into the driveway at 326. One of these just isn't going to cut it. So it's going to be a long day, I think. And of course, you know, the whole mood of last night. Although, you know, I wasn't tired on the way home for the simple reason you're always running scenarios. I am anyway. What did you do wrong? You know, was it something you did? Was there something we could have seen coming? Could we have made changes? I thought we made the appropriate changes shoeing wise to the horse. Eric had the horse ready to go. He looks like $1 million. He was feeling great. Racing him last night, if I had a snide, I said this in another video. I did so many last night, I don't even know if it was the official one that I posted. Racing him last night, I probably would have said, you know, he needs the flip-flops back on that we had on him in Oak Grove. Doesn't need that. Now here is the entirety of last night. Pickpocket has wore a head pole and a Murphy blind on the outside and been on the left line his whole life. Just kind of carries out a little bit. Last night, right line. And it wasn't lameness. I warmed him up. The horse is feeling great. He's comfortable. But I believe as the night wore on and as he got on that track a little bit more and as he picked up speed, I think it stung him a little bit. He shifted from being on that left line a little bit, carrying out the warm-up to now he's on the right line. Now he's uncomfortable. And it bothered him too. If you just watch the race a couple of times, you'll probably be able to see what I'm talking about. Not even so much the body language. Yeah, the body language of the horse, but you can literally almost see his demeanor change as we get closer to the turn. Because he knew he was in trouble too. So I don't want to dwell on last night. You know, you guys know I'm always an optimist. And I remember I just started driving a little bit, and you know, I still had aspirations of being the next anyone. And you know, much like I assume a kid who's, you know, a baseball player getting into AAA or a kid getting in the juniors, and you know, they have those dreams. They're right in front of them. They can see them. They can almost grasp them, and they just can't seem to get past that. We've seen it with horses all the time, right? Just can't seem to take that next step. Is it mental? Is it physical? Just sheer talent. Who knows? But it's different for everybody, right? And I remember I'd driven in a couple of stake races that were kind of important. And I'd been driving a little bit more. You know, I was at this, we're going back the better part of 20 years. And I had a bad night. You know, I drove for a lot of nice people, and this is a tough game anyway, so you gotta have thick skin. I just didn't have a good night. I wasn't driving good, and I was pissed off. I come off the track, and I had gotten in an argument with somebody, and I can't even remember who said it, but it always stuck. I can't remember who said it in what context, but I remember it being said to me. And I knew it was a trainer, maybe an owner, but I think it was a trainer. Came up and they said, you know, you're not having a bad year. You're not having a great night. You're not having a bad year. But it takes time, right? And I think at this time also, I'm close enough to my brother Mark where I believe there's a birth between us that I can chew into. Like, there's my brother up there, and here I am down here, and I believe that there's a way to get to there. And I'm frustrated because I just can't break through, right? And I'm sure you guys have experienced that in life in one form or another, whether you're playing golf or maybe in your own work. Just get frustrated because you can't. It just seems like it's one step back, one step forward, 2 steps back all the time. And a good day is 1 step forward, half a step back. So I just wasn't making the gains, and I remember I was just having a bad night. somebody had said to me, you know, as I said, this is a tough game. Keep your head down, keep working. Things will come around. yeah, whatever. He said, you know why it's called WD-40, right? Just like that, just out of the blue. Had nothing to do. It was like, it completely caught me off guard. I'm like, what? They said, you know why it's called WD-40? He said, you know the spray? No. He said, because it took them 40 times to get it right. And now you think about that. That's not 40 races. That's 40 times under a controlled environment with all the science of their company behind them, backing them, telling them that this formula will work. And it didn't 39 times. The only reason it did on the 40th is because they were probably willing to go to 100 or 200 or as long as it took. They're willing to put in the time and the effort to get it right. So don't beat yourself up over one night. And don't think you're going to become John Campbell in another 39. But just understand that you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, and, you know, ultimately, I assume you love your job. Because I know I do. So it must have been a trainer that said it. You know what? Just keep your head down, keep working. Things will come around. Now, he was wrong. I never did get to be Mark. I never did get to be anywhere near any of those big drivers. But I won a lot of races and continue to win a lot of races. But the same principle applies, right? Sure, I want to go into Indiana and I want to show everybody who the stable is. And I want to show everybody who Pickpocket is. And I want to show everybody the work we've done. But it's lost on me that we already showed them in Kentucky twice. You can't win them all. You can't always make a splash. And when you're racing at that level, you look around and every big driver in the world is there. Well, North America is there. All the best horses are there. And I think the only solace I have is, one, we couldn't make wholesale changes to Pickpocket after the way he'd been racing in Kentucky. And two, no matter who drove him last night, unfortunately, he was still going to make a break. Now, the only saving grace in that is he doesn't generally break. First one of his life. Put that one up here. I'll remember that for next year. So we got a great 3-year-old going into a sophomore campaign. We got a lot of nice 3-year-olds going into their sophomore campaigns. You guys have allowed us to buy some of the best horses in the world. Some of the deepest pedigrees that we could ever imagine having. And you put your faith and confidence in us that we're going to do the right job. Can't ask for much more than that. Hundreds of people that believe in what we do. Good horses to race. The future is always going to be bright as long as that is the case. So that is where I'm at today. As I said, always as somebody recently put it to me, the eternal optimist. Why wouldn't I be? Why wouldn't I be? So we get 6 on tap today. We still have, now I am going to make some changes to my schedule this weekend. Andy Miller is going to drive Arson. He's already won with him once in his life. It just, I thought that it was going to be Arson Sunday, Memory and Imagination Monday. Memory and Imagination's class didn't go. So I would believe that Memory and Imagination's next race and the final will be his last of 2023. Unless they somehow say, well, you guys entered in that pop-up race that we put on for 2-year-old trotters. Go race for it. However many that might be. Maybe it was 4, maybe it was 6. I don't know. But I would suspect there won't be a pop-up race after the stake final. So the next week's race in Corbin, Kentucky will be his last of the season. Arson's race next week, I suspect they'll go with the Sire Stake final and then the pop-up final. He'll race in both of those. And then he'll be done for the season. Pickpocket, as we speak right now, is probably on his way to the field somewhere. I wanted to leave him in Kentucky. Eric was going to make some calls today to both Bob Bob Brady at Kentuckiana, who we spent some money in this year, and Peninsula Farms also, to see if either one of those guys, who we bought horses off both of them, if either one of them can take him. I want to leave him down there. I did call Dr. Haley Moore, but she's full. So no point in taking him back here and sending him over there. Just leave them in Kentucky for now to relax until just before, around Christmas time, and then we'll bring them back in. So that's the plan with the horses down there. Get these guys raced, continue to move things around. My next 8 days is simple. Get all the money together for Lexington, get them paid, get London, Lexington off the books. I'm going to pay for the PEI horse today. That one's off the books. And then see what we want to do for Harrisburg. So that's where we're at right now. And yes, I am the eternal optimist, even on a cloudy day when I know I'm about to race in the mud. I am. So I'm off to Pennsylvania. I'll be there in an hour and a half. An hour and a half. I hope you guys have a good day wherever you are. And I spent 6 minutes talking about a horse that made a break, and no minutes talking about how good Mounts for All was last night. I sent Megan a message. I felt bad after. I didn't even go and see her at Indiana. Just between the mud and racing Swinging Senorita and talking Eric and getting him warmed up, getting the colt warmed up, I just didn't cross paths with Megan. I didn't seek her out. I didn't go and say, hey, great job with the horse. I messaged her after and said, hey, tremendous job with the filly. She just looks better every time she was on the track. And it may be lost on some people, but that was a hell of a mile last night in Indiana. A hell of a mile. So with that, I will let you go. I will talk to you all very soon. As I said, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. For my partners on Tactile Mounts, wonderful job. She was tremendous again last night. Just a killer of a mare, filly. For my partners on Pickpocket, we've had a wonderful year, have a good horse, and really doesn't affect how I feel about this horse as a sophomore, right? We always want to point our horses towards big races. Well, we already won 2. We won the Bluegrass, we won the International Stallion. Those are legit Grand Circuit events in Kentucky. We have a 2-year-old trotter that's taken a mark of 53-1. He's only made 1 break in his life. It was just disheveled, just out of sorts. And we all want to point our horses towards big races, especially the 3-year-olds. Well, we get a Walner that can go fast. He's never been on Lasix. He's never appeared to need Lasix. There's a big 3-year-old event coming up next year also. A number of them. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. As I said, again, take care. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully the rain stays away. I wouldn't mind racing in Ravenna. It's sunny here. Take care.